Hello, everyone, everywhere. This is Bob Thibodeau. Welcome to your On the Air podcast and radio training program for today. Today, we're going to talk about, again, what kind of equipment you're going to need to start your podcast. We're in that section now. And today, we're going to talk about your microphone. Now, in order to record, whether you use a desktop or a laptop, you are going to need a microphone. In all actuality, the microphone is probably the most important part of the equipment that you will need. I mean, without it, you're not going to be able to communicate to anybody. If you're going to be serious about getting into podcasting or online radio, then you should purchase a quality microphone. You don't have to go elaborate, with the Yeti setup like I have. I mean, I use this Yeti. I've used it now for several years. It's in the mid-range cost as far as cost-wise goes, but it does everything I currently need it to do in a microphone. Now, I recommend that you do spend some money on a good quality microphone. It will make the difference. The sound quality of your files will be determined by the quality of your microphone. And it will determine whether people will actually want to listen to what you have to say. Believe me, when I tell you the quality of sound is probably 75% of what captures people's attention first. I mean, it really doesn't matter what the subject matter being discussed on your podcast or radio program is. If the sound is distracting, people will turn it off and they won't come back. So believe me when I say the quality of your microphone will make the difference. Now, you can spend upwards of $500 or more on studio microphones if you want to. I don't recommend that at this point in time. For someone just starting off, which is what these videos are being directed towards and made for, then you can use just about any USB type of microphone on the market. I highly encourage you to use a USB. If you get the prong plugs that plug into the microphone jack on your computer, the sound quality is not going to be as great. You're disabling some functions on your computer. So I would just recommend a USB mic, and unless you're going to go to a separate soundboard system. Now, if you go that route, I'm not going to get into it because there's so many different variables out there. I mean, I use a USB mic with this Yeti. I got it set up for the USB, and you can find a USB mic that you're comfortable with as well. Now, the Yeti I paid somewhere around $90 for it. I can't remember. It was several years ago, but it's typically in that range. They typically will go anywhere from mid-80s to about 100, 110, depending on where you live. I recommend searching Amazon for a microphone as well. Now, if you're ready to spend, not quite that much, but you want to get a good quality one, you can purchase a good mid-range headphone type of microphone in the $35 to $75 range. As long as it's USB, it'll still have a good quality sound to it as well. Now, I do recommend that you use headphones, especially if you're going to be doing interviews. This will eliminate the squeal that you'll receive if you're using external speakers to listen to your guest. The microphone will also be sending a signal to the external speakers. So it's just like, the feedback you get when a microphone passes in front of speakers. That's what you're going to get in your headset. And, you don't want that. You want to use headsets. I mean, let me back up a second. If you don't have headsets, that squeal is going to be the result. That's what your listeners are going to hear, and they'll turn you right off. I mean, immediately. They don't want to hear that. So headphones will eliminate that and make sure it doesn't happen. Now, one thing to watch out for, if you are using a set of headphones with a boom mic attached, the headphones and the microphone comes around front, it is possible that the microphone will be so close to your lips, it will also pick up the sound of your breathing. That will be distracting to your listeners as well, and they'll turn you off. Now, I recommend if you do have a set of headphones with the microphone attached, keep it separate from each other. Put that mic down here, right about here, next to your cheek. That way you eliminate the breathing directly into the mic, and you should be okay for right now. I want to mention the quality of the microphone again and how important it is. When I first started out, I had a headset and microphone attached. It cost me about $20, I guess. It was definitely at the lower end, but it was okay. It was getting the job done at the time. About a year in, I went and upgraded to another headset with a mic attached. It cost right around $40. And when I compared the two files, I mean, there was a very noticeable difference. and it sounded so much better. I thought, wow, this is great. Well, a few years later, I purchased this Yeti. And when I compared the sound files then, the difference between what you're hearing now and what I thought was good with that $40 headset, well, the difference in quality was basically astounding. And when compared to the original headset that I originally was doing files and was doing interviews with, it sounded like, I don't know, like a child was making the recordings before. The sound, it was that bad, okay, when compared to a good quality microphone like I use now. That's why I recommend you spend a little bit extra money right now up front to make sure you have a quality microphone before you even get started, because it will make a difference in your listenership. And some people ask me, well, tell me which brand to buy. What should I choose? Well, I can't give you that information. I don't know when you're going to be watching this video. It could be, 2 weeks from when I'm recording it or 2 years from now, and things change. Okay. What I can tell you is each person's needs are also different. So I urge you to do your own research. Go online, ask around on Facebook and on forums and things like that, and you'll be directed to something that will meet your need. All right. That's all the time we're going to have for today. We're going to continue our discussion on the equipment that you're going to need, and we will then proceed into talking about how to do the podcast. Folks, if you have any questions, I'm getting some great questions. If you have any questions, be sure you email me at bob@ontheairradio.com, and we'll go ahead and answer your questions on the air. Praise God. Till next time, this is Bob Till reminding you, you can be on the air.